Hello everyone, my name is Reyza TORO. For my last focus project, I want to tell you about diplomacy. This topic interests me because in the future, I would like to be a diplomatic. For this, I studied law at the university and I also did a master's degree in international relations and diplomacy. These are the reasons why I want to tell you about the first diplomatic woman in the world, Alexandra Kollontai, who is an inspiration for any woman who decides to develop her work in diplomacy, politics, and the fight for women's rights. I will begin to talk about her life and career. Alexandra Kollontai was born in St. Petersburg in 1872. She was a Russian revolutionary of noble origin, daughter of a general of the Tsar. After finishing her studies in Switzerland, she joined the socialist movement and she joined the Russian Social Democratic Labor Party. She followed the Bolshevik ideology. Kollontai was exiled, arrested, and expelled from many European countries for more than 10 years. She was also Lenin's struggle partner and took an active part in the October Revolution of 1917, which brought the Bolsheviks to power. Alexandra was part of the first Soviet government. In this image, we can see that Alexandra Kollontai is the only woman in the meeting led by Lenin. The image shows the gender inequality during those times. She was a fighter to the emancipation of women and the construction of a new woman, emotionally, psychologically independent, under the idea of sexual freedom. Kollontai worked to achieve total parity between men and women in social, family, and sexual life. Her thinking underlying logic was, for women, the solution of the family question is not less important than the achievement of political equality and economic independence. Now, I would like to talk about her achievement in diplomacy. In 1923, she presented her credentials to the Norwegian king, Haakon. The fact surprised many people because the ambassador job was always considered as men's business. Kollontai quickly got important advances in the commercial relations between Russia and Norway. She was awarded by the Norwegian government with the Royal Norwegian Order of St. Olaf. After that, in Sweden, since 1930 to 1945, Alexandra Kollontai was the head of the Soviet representation in Sweden, with the presentation of her credentials to the King Gustav V. She received the Aztec Eagle Award of the Mexican government, recognizing her efforts as ambassador. Kollontai continued in the diplomatic service during 18 years more in Norway and Sweden. She passed away in 1952, some weeks before turning 80 years old. She was buried in the Novodevichy graveyard of Moscow, and her grave is next to the one of the Foreign Affairs Minister of the USSR, Georgy Chicherin. Now, to conclude, I want to read a phrase that represents her philosophy. Each new objective of the working class represents a step that leads humanity to the kingdom of freedom and social equality. Each right women earn makes them closer to the stated goal of their total emancipation. With this presentation, I try to demonstrate the importance that women have built in diplomacy. Thanks for your attention.